Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Chris from Universe X. Haven't been doing as much Dragon Ball Super content in a little while, so I thought I'd try to do something really special. So we got a great guest here. We got Jordan. If you don't recognize him, and you should if you play this game, he's the world's first Dragon Ball Super TCG national champion. And I just wanted to ask a couple questions now that Nats has been over for a month and change, and get some insight on the format, maybe even the future format with Jordan.
Definitely, man.
Excellent. So, I guess first I'll just ask, now that it's been a month, how does it feel to still just be the first national champion?
Man, at the time it was a really weird feeling. I don't know. Doing it with Storm, I wish I could have done it with something else. Storm, little background, I don't really like aggro decks. I'm more of a control player, so it was really different for me to play something like that and actually do well. So, like, I was extremely happy I won, but it was also like kind of like an accomplishment for me to play like an aggro deck like that. But how it feels now is, I mean, it still feels the same. It just feels weird. I don't know, like it feels great. I mean, for sure. But haven't been to an event yet. I feel like the next event I go to, it's gonna feel even weirder. Like people coming up and saying hi and whatnot, it's like stuff like that. But nah, man, it feels good.
No, that's awesome. And this is coming from somebody that's played Jordan a couple times, been around a lot of the same tournaments.
Yep.
Seeing Jordan at a table not playing Cold Bloodlust, it was odd. It was odd. But to see him just wrecking, like annihilating people all throughout that day, not playing Bloodlust, it was crazy. You know it's bad when the man who loves control switches to aggro. You know a bunch of people are just about to catch the wreck for no reason. It's what happened.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
And actually segues into my next question. I was about to ask, I was like, does it make locals weird now? Like, does it add more pressure to locals when you walk in?
Not really. I mean, mainly because we have small locals. I'll shout out my boys, Nick Brady, Sawyer Deal, and Zach LaFlame. Those are like pretty much our only three locals. We have a couple other people that come in from time to time, but for the most part, we don't really have anybody else. That's just those three guys, and I mean, they're all really good players, and we play test a lot for sure, but we don't really do like the whole tournament thing that much. We just play a bunch of games, and no, it doesn't really make it weird because they're all good players, so I mean, they always like joke with me, they're like, oh, you made a misplay? The Nats champ made a misplay? Like, what? Like, stuff like that, but no, we have a good time with it.
That's lit. Hyperbolic time chamber.
Yep.
Alrighty then. I guess my next topic was actually, I kind of wanted to get some of your insight about Nats, and where I want to start with that is, when it comes to the format and how you eliminated your deck choices, what were your thoughts going into the event, like before and right before?
So I've been playing Storm for a little while now. I was playing SS3 Storm for a little bit. Got a top 4 at the Ohio Regional. And then once SS3 got banned, I was unsure if the deck would still be as good. I knew that Hero was obviously a good leader, but I didn't know if it was going to be able to still pack that punch that I liked with the SS3 deck. And SS3 also had a little bit of defense capabilities built in with the obvious untap 3. But then I played that a little bit, and it still was a really good deck. And so what happened was we started testing for Nats because we didn't have much time at all. You really didn't have much time from when the set was previewed to when Nats happened. You had to basically proxy cards and test.
Mm-hmm.
And none of my friends really liked playing Storm, so I kind of was just designated as the Storm player. So we just ran the gauntlet through all the decks that we thought were good. We ran through Shenron, which was a pretty favorable matchup for Storm. There was Droids, which was pretty 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it's pretty who gets to play, draw, play, disparity type thing. The Droids goes first, it's a little tough, but like if Storm goes first, it's usually a win. Yeah, like
The scrapping.
So that was a pretty good matchup. It wasn't that bad, and then like we tested against a few other decks in the format, and just nothing really like Chain Zeno, like Blue Red, nothing really could compete with it. It was just too fast and too consistent, so it didn't really brick too much. So with our testing, we definitely thought it was the best deck. It just so happens that none of my friends really wanted to play the deck, so they didn't run it. I think they ended up running droids and some other stuff, but like it was just like it was the best deck. It's just if you wanted to play the deck or not. As far as testing goes, nothing really could beat it consistently.
No, I get that. I'm not trying to snitch on my teammates, but we just, of course, ran the gauntlet against Storm, and we definitely left like 5 sets of Bardox in the hotel room because nobody, like you said, nobody wanted to play Storm. We were just like,
nope. No,
it just,
not me. I ain't doing it.
but I mean, it was the call. Shenron was hot, but you literally get all of your game mechanics off by the time Shenron starts actually trying to swing. So
Yeah.
no, that's
Unless
crazy.
they get like a really good like hand where they can get the Dragon Balls out really fast, like they draw a bunch of them. But like even then, like I played Willie in top 4 and he awakened turn 2, and he had 7 life, and I thought like that was like I didn't play too much against Shenron. I was like, this is not looking good for game 1, but like it still worked out because like just Shenron's just like it's too slow of a deck to be able to compete with Storm. And I was still ended up taking the game, but like it put me in like a position where I'm like, dang, can I win this? Like 7 life awakened, like 15k, like I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but no, it's just Storm's just so consistent that it didn't matter. Yeah, Storm's just insane. Like something needs to be done.
It is, and that's actually something else we're going to touch in this video. But I do have to say, I was so sad that you and Willie played. Like, I would have rather be in top like 2 than top 4. He'd stayed over at Monty's house before Nats, and we had driven up together, and we were playing Shenron Mirrors, and he made some last minute changes. Like, he didn't play sneak attacks, and then he saw me like repeatedly using Shenron to give crit and 5k to sneak attack Vegetas, and just kept poking at people's hands until they were just like nothing. And he was like, maybe they should go in. So I was happy. Like, he was doing really well today on a hot streak, and then he got put up against you, and I was like, he's like, wish me luck. I was like,
dude, Storm's just so tough for that deck. Like, I mean, he got top 4. That's amazing.
it's crazy. Like,
He's an amazing player.
he couldn't even believe it. You're in the car at home. He was geeking the entire time. It was crazy.
That's the best.
But I guess now that we're past all that, I mean, obviously, I had a question about your review post Nats, but you pretty much encompassed everything in that original part. Like, Storm really did run through everything, and most strategies are just getting off the ground on a turn where Storm is already supposed to have finished the game. So that makes sense. I guess my next question would actually be, are you familiar with any of the Clash of Fate cards? Have you been looking at it, or have you been taking a break?
I mean, I've been taking a little break. I still know some of the cards, like a few of the meta-defining ones, I think, that are coming out. But not everything. But for the most part, I know like a few that are going to define the meta, I feel like.
All right. Well, in that case, from Master Storm player himself, I do have to ask about 2. I mean, it's 3 cards, but 2 of them are the same card in particular. And everybody's saying they're going to be death to all Storm and at least blue-yellow Storm because of all the untap. But yeah, Boreas, the 1-drop blue card, and the Whis yellow card, I think from the Broly starter deck, they're both just the play it for 1 energy, draw a card. If your opponent, once per turn, if your opponent untaps an energy on their turn, you can just choose 1 of their energy and put it in the drop zone.
Yep.
And then the other one, what everybody's calling the Storm Killer, that 2-drop Goku that says 2 or less can't swing. What do you think about those impact-wise against Storm?
Man. I think that I'll start with Burgos and Whis. I think those 2 are like they're good cards against Storm, but I don't think they necessarily kill the deck. There's definitely ways to adapt. One way is just a main deck Mass Saiyan. It does make your overwhelm slightly weaker, but you also have a built-in answer, and it doesn't really affect your energy at all because you can just Mass Saiyan and then do all your combos. And you were going to overwhelm anyway, so it's not like it costs you any extra energy or anything like that. But I think that could be one adaptation to the deck for those cards. And then for Goku, the other adaptation, there is one. There's actually 2 cards. One is Frieza, the 1-drop that taps down to 2 or less with barrier. The only problem with this is having a reliable way to kill it afterwards, because you only have your leader swing essentially, and so you're like negging if you're unawakened to attack into that, and then you also have to combo to kill it to make sure it dies. And then the issue I have with that, like you might be able to kill it once, but the problem is if you're playing something like a Child's Wish deck, or if you're playing something along those lines where they can bring it back easily. Like if they just bring it back the next turn, you're at square one again. So you kind of have to kill the Goku on the turn you're about to win, which could delay you a couple turns, which would kill the deck. I'm not too sure. I haven't like played against it, so I'm not sure how in actuality it would work. But it definitely feels like that card might stop Storm. It might affect the deck too much to where it's not good enough to be played. But there is answers, so I wouldn't say it's completely dead. And then the other answer is the Bardock Overrealm, where you can attack active mode cards.
Yes.
It gets 10k, so it's a 30k into it. That's like probably the best way to kill it. But then again, you're also hitting your overall slot for that, which is unfortunate because usually Mira, Scientist Fu are the ways you end the game. So I don't know if it'll be enough, but it's definitely going to slow down Storm a lot for sure. The 2-drop Goku. I think the 1-drops are fine. I don't think they're going to be too much of an issue, but I definitely think the Goku is going to be an issue for Storm.
Yeah, when the 2-drop sticks, it just really sticks. And I was actually trying to look at Clash of Fates because I think it is a bit above curve because 2 energy is just a lot for Storm to play just while it's trying to combo out. But there, I think, is that Vegeta that just blows up. Yeah, I think he's a 2-drop that blows up just barrier cards. I just wanted to look at it real quick because it's the feature rare.
The other feature rare, yeah, that's true. The other feature rare, that could be something.
Oh yeah, because rest mode. That's the one thing. Because I don't think they're ever putting that thing in rest mode. Like
you'd have to tap it down first somehow.
Yeah, but
no, that makes sense.
Yeah, from what I was seeing, the thing that kind of annoyed me most about Boreas and Whis is that they weren't printed in colors that you'd have to go out of your way for, like red or maybe even green sometimes. Like, it's blue-yellow. Most of the cards that are being played in this game, yeah, you could play them as energy, but from what I've seen in the limited testing I've been doing right now, if you stick like a Boreas and a Whis and you can see that Nimbus, you're generally going to survive to turn 3 energy, and if you can start stacking the Boreas or the Whis, it gets like kind of upsetting because they have to start amassing pieces to blow through that. But I'm very interested to see how it's going to be because for whatever reason the PPG event is going to have these cards be legal a day after they were released.
Yeah, they do that with all the events in this game. I don't really, I mean, just like a side talk, I don't really agree with that. I think it should be at least a week before the set's legal. Just that way people can get cards, because, like, that event, like, people, like, I don't know how rare the features are going to be, but what if they're, like, super hard to find? Like, because I've been hearing mixed things. Like, so, like, what if they are, like, if we're saying one per case? That means, like, not a lot of people are going to have Gokus. If they do, they're going to have to spend a ton of money. So, like, Storm might be safe for that event, like, if people don't have all the cards to stop it. You know what I mean? So, like, it's really not going to be a good test of the format, in my opinion.
No, I agree. Nats was a wonderful event, and it was cooler than I thought the first national tournament could have been. But as much as I didn't like the format before Set 5, I don't think it was like appropriate to release, like have that set be legal for Nats with how close it dropped. So that was just kind of ugly. But maybe one day they will learn and do stuff like that. But yeah, I guess the next thing I kind of want to know, because lots of players are trying to understand the secret ingredient. Like, they kind of want to know how you practice, you know, how you tackle events, how you do what you do. And so I was just wondering if you had any tips for new players, current players, anybody that's just trying to skill up.
Yeah, I don't know how much, like, I don't know how much other people play, but, like, basically, like, my playtest days, like, we play, like, obviously we all work, so after work we go to the card shop, play for, like, 4 or 5 hours on Thursday and Friday. We just play test different matchups. We go back and forth. Like I said, we usually have 4 people, my 3 playtesting buddies, and we just, you know, swap decks, whatever, play each other, however we want to do it. And then we do that Thursday and Friday, and then Saturdays, and we go out, like, usually noon, maybe 1 o'clock, and play until, like, 8 or 9. So we put in like, I would say probably about like 15 to 20 hours of testing. When it comes to big events, each week, I don't do much online testing. I know a ton of people play online, which that's great if you can do that. But me personally, it's so slow to me. It's so, yeah, I gotta shuffle my cards, man. It feels so slow playing online. But it's a good tool if you can manage to do it. But no, just practice, man. Just try and get each other better. Sometimes if there's a play where we don't know, we'll show our opponent our hand, and we'll try and figure out the best line of play given the situation, while not having all the knowledge, obviously. But sometimes that helps. But just like practice, man. Like I know I said on my interview when we were at Nats, but it's just it's important to practice your deck and know your deck. And I played Storm for how long, so it was good for me to play Storm because I just knew all the nuances and everything with the deck. And if I played something like Shenron or something like New, if you don't have as much practice, you can't know all your matchups as well. Just having the minimal time that you had to play the deck. So to me, that's very important as well, knowing your deck and how to play it.
That's like pretty much just it right there. I know that a lot of people try to get in there and practice here and there, but I mean, practice does make perfect, and that repetition is super important. Like if you don't practice enough and you end up at big events and you have those games that went into time, but multiple times throughout the game there were these like hard turns where you had to think for a long time. Most of those turns probably could have been cut in half if you had just been in those situations before, if you knew the routes of play to go through the trees. And so practice does make perfect when it comes to card games. Feeling out all your matchups, knowing the plays you should do, knowing that risky play that got you smacked 8 times in practice, probably shouldn't do it when you're chilling at top tables. It's not going to be pretty.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I just at least wanted to get bro over here on more videos. I don't think enough people are paying this dude his dues, especially for what had happened.
Everybody's been great. Everybody's been very supportive, and I know like right after Nats, man, like my phone was blowing up. It was just a crazy experience, and everybody was super awesome. So like I can't thank the community enough because the community does get some flack, but we really do have a good community. We really do.
I agree. You should have seen the people putting up arms for Spirit Bombs when you were going to combo out in their last turn. It was unreal on the other side of that wall. Like
the Hill Twins, man, they were so loud. It was crazy.
It was crazy. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this interview. Just like I said, just wanted to hear the man talk, know a bit more about what he knows. I'm definitely gonna be trying to do stuff like this a little more often. If I can get him back on camera, I'll get him back on camera. I'll see who else I can reach out to as well. And yeah, I'll just put out more content. If you guys liked it, just subscribe, like, comment. I'm trying to grow this channel. And I hope everybody learned a little something about this. So yeah, hope you guys have a good night. Happy New Year, Merry belated Christmas, whatever you celebrate. We'll see you next time.